Hey guys, welcome back. I want to do just a quick fat loss update. As I said last time, that week, well, I was actually wrong. I'd only lost half a pound. It wasn't even three quarters. Um, but I just felt like things were still going the right way. I think that's just based on having done this for many years. I kind of felt like I was still moving the right way, so I didn't want to make any changes yet. I followed everything for another week, and then this week I lost right at that pound again. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I've, I'm getting close to milking this for what it's worth. So in the next few weeks, the gains are going to have to stall out, and then I'm going to have to make some changes by cutting a few more calories, increasing my walking, and different things like that. The other thing I want to mention, that fugly transition. Um, I don't know what causes it. I was listening to a podcast and heard Lyle McDonald say that I think he was told by a professor maybe that after the fat cells, after they get rid of some of the fat, sometimes there's water that comes in. Maybe that's it. I don't know if there's actually research to support that or anything, but that could explain why there was some weight loss, but not a whole lot because maybe some of the fat that had been you know gone, had been burned, was replaced by some water, and then maybe that's what kind of blurs everything so that you don't really look leaner. uh, who knows? But this week I would say that I feel like I look leaner, so I feel like I look better than what I did for the past 2 weeks. And this seems to be the way it goes, that there's a certain point, like you start losing weight, you look good, then you don't look good, and then you finally look good again. It seems to occur kind of at different times, earlier on rather than late, but it's not necessarily like within the first 2 weeks or the first month. It seems to vary a little bit within definitely the first couple months for me every time. So if you've noticed that, just keep going, and trust what you're doing. As long as the scale's going down, the caliper readings are improving, you're moving in the right direction. So just stay the course, and then things will finally improve, and it'll be worth it in the end. Um, I guess one other thing I want to talk about, again, I've heard a lot of people talk about this over the years, but I think a lot of times we think like our resting metabolic rate is kind of what makes the difference between people who can get lean and who can't. And there's not really a lot of research to support huge variations in the resting metabolic rate of people, at least if they're at the same size. Now, somebody who's really small versus somebody who's real big, there's going to be a decent change or, discrepancy there. But for people that are around the same size, it's going to be about the same. And you do have the thermic effect of food, so actually eating food helps you to burn some of those calories. Protein, I think, has the highest on that as well. But again, that those calories are going to be kind of the same for everybody. What seems to have the biggest impact on things is NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So basically non-exercise activity that's burning body fat. And this is where like that step count can come in real handy, because it's what can happen. I've heard some of the bodybuilding coaches talk about is they might have a competitor, and they're doing cardio, so they're on the treadmill for an hour, whatever time frame it is. But maybe as they get further into their diet and they don't have the same energy because they're eating so little at that point, that hour on the treadmill or the bike is now they're at a much slower pace. Plus they're a lot smaller, so they're already not burning as many calories from that. The slower pace means they're burning less calories, so they're no longer burning the same amount of calories on it. And even though they're doing the same amount of cardio, it's the same time frame, but it's not actually the same amount. It's not the same activity. And so what they're showing with a lot of the research is sometimes that NEAT can account for hundreds of calories to even maybe thousands of calories difference in people. So someone who's fidgety and moving, they're actually burning some calories with that. And they're not burning a ton with each little fidget, but if they're moving more, that can make a big difference. I think like even just from standing up versus sitting down, you might burn one extra calorie a minute, which isn't that much. But if you're standing for an hour, that's 60 extra calories. You do that for multiple hours, now it's starting to make a big difference on things. And that's where I like kind of that step count, because even if you are moving slower, you can still do, say, 10,000 steps. It might take you longer towards the end of the diet rather than at the beginning, but at least you have kind of a way to mark how far you're going and that you're getting some of that non-exercise activity in. So, I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's a pretty good way of doing things, and kind of gives you a little bit of goal to shoot for, and then we can kind of always build from there. And I think that's part of the reason why I like to decrease calories some and also increase that activity a little bit. And again, I like walking, and I always try to do this closer to when the weather's going to improve. It's going to be warmer, and it's a way to be outside, be out in the sun, get some more low level sun exposure before the summer really gets here and that sun's really intense. That way, kind of build up that tolerance there too. So, anyway, that's it for today. Hope this is helpful, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.